Hi, welcome to Gary's Hobby Studio. In this video, I'm going to continue where I left off after installing Debian 11. Then I'm going to show you guys how to install MediaWiki 1.37. There's going to be steps to it, and I tried to fit everything into one, but it was just too long. That's why it's broken up into you installed the previous videos where I installed Proxmox, set up the VM, then installed Debian. Now I'm going to show you how to set up MediaWiki and even install the visual editor so that you can use that as opposed to using the regular like source code HTML type editor. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit so that you guys can hopefully see it. And apparently it doesn't pass everything through. Let me try it this way. Nope, doesn't work that way. And I'm using TeamViewer for this too. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to install Apache. Now, the instructions that I found shows you to use sudo. I don't use sudo in this. I like to keep the root and the user accounts separate. That way the two are not together. This way here, if somebody hacks in, all they have to do is, if they know your user password for the account, and if it has sudo, they can do all kinds of damage. Where the other way, it takes elevated privileges. So, you know, that's just the way I do it. You can do it however you want. All right, so I know I can copy and paste because I think I did test this because I use this program at work. And okay, so you type in app-y because this way, because it'll prompt you the other way, where if you put y in it, it'll just go ahead and do it. And this will install Apache too. All right, so now that that's done, the next thing we have to do, not exactly sure what all these commands do. I want to say it has to deal with like configuring. I'm not that familiar with Linux. I've been using it for a little while. Okay, so that did, I guess, some kind of symbolic links. And then now you want to restart the Apache service and enable it so that it'll start every time. Now, whether it's a hardware machine or a virtual machine, with this command coming up, this will allow you to allow the service to start. So let's go ahead. And paste that in. And I'm going to leave a link to the file with all this here, but it's basically systemctl restart apache2.service nn. And I think I screwed up. Let's try it again because I forgot to remove sudo at the end of the link. Oop. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully it worked. All right, now we need to install the database. So we're going to install the Maria database server and the Maria database client. All right, so now that that's done, we're going to do the same thing. Enable the service. And also restart it. Okay, that's done. So now it's time for the actual installation of it. Okay, so this is where you get to configure the actual database, and I got pens. I need something to write on. Just because my memory is not the greatest. And I need to write this stuff down. I mean, I'm not planning on using this. I've already got everything saved with mine that's on my main network, but this is just for you guys. So it says enter the current password for root, enter for none, which there is none. So go ahead and press enter. Okay. And then you definitely don't want to do the switch to Unix secure socket authentication. I don't know anything about it, so I would recommend that you don't do that. So go no for that. Then it says you already have a root account protected. You can safely enter no. Change the root password. Yes. And I'm going to change it to... Okay, so I have the password for that. So you can make it anything you want. Okay, and then type it in again. Oh, yay, passwords don't match. Okay. Remove anonymous users. You definitely want to do that. Okay. Normally root should only be allowed to connect from local hosts. This ensures that someone cannot guess at the root password from the network. So you definitely want to disallow root login remotely. You want to remove the test database. Reloading the privilege tables will ensure that all changes made so far will take effect immediately. So you want to do that. Okay, and the database is done. So now, same thing, you want to restart the Maria system database service. And at systemctl restart mariadb.service. And there, you've actually now set up the database for you created it. There. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to install PHP. So, and also you might want to install Vim too. So you're going to be installing through app, you're going to be installing PHP, PHP common, PHP MB string, PHP XML RPC, PHP SOAP, PHP GD, PHP XML, PHP INTL, PHP MS SQL, PHP CLI, PHP LDAP, PHP-zip, PHP-curl, and Vim itself, because that's a different style editor. And you'll see why in a moment. So let's go ahead and get those installed. I'm also updating my documentation too to make it easier. I will include a link to this file down in the description, so this way you'll have everything, and as I go through it, I'll straighten it all out. Okay, so now that that's all installed for PHP. Now you want to set the PHP initialization file. So what that's going to take is, and this is why we install Vim. So you're going to edit, and that's actually wrong because that is training file. Okay, everything's the same except for I have to fix, because this is 7.4, not 7.2. My bad on that. And see, this is why I like to correct things. Okay. So now that that's corrected, okay, and you want to, and this is the reason why for Vim, because you can actually search this a lot easier. Because what you would do is you would hit the / and type in file underscore uploads, which is on, which is what you want. And then you can back that up. The next is allow URL underscore fopen equals on, which is set. The next is memory limit. And you want to set that, which you want to hit insert on your keyboard. There we go. Have to hit enter. Okay. Now you can delete, but you have to hit the insert key so that you can do 256. Then you want to hit escape, and then that'll change that. And then the next one is upload max file size. So we need to do that. Upload max file size. Okay. And you want to change that to 100. And forgot to hit the insert. Yep. Okay. Whoa. Delete. Let's try this again. All right. And then we want max execution. Max execution time should be 360. So we change that. And then it's the date and time. Would help if I could spell. Okay. And for me, it's America. And my time zone, I don't live in New York, but I live in that time zone. Okay, and then to get out of it, you do colon, I want to say it's WQ exclamation point. That should work. And it did. Okay. So now that you've edited the PHP file, the next is you're actually going to create the database for your MediaWiki. So you want to do MySQL-u for user root and the password. So we hit that. Don't ask me why that did that. I have not the foggiest idea why that did that. SQL -u -p. I have no idea why that did that. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. All right. So now that we got that working, so you want to create a database called MediaWiki. And you have to do this in all caps and make sure you put a semicolon at the end or else otherwise it won't work. Okay, so that's created. And what you want to do is you want to create a database user called, now in this here, it's going to be called MWAdmin for MediaWiki admin. You can make that name whatever you want as long as you remember what it is. So I'm going to make mine a little bit different, but I'm going to leave the default instructions here. So I'm going to create a user as soon as I can get my mouse up here. So we want to, and everything's in caps lock except for certain things, and you'll see. Create user. GHS, and I don't want it that way. GHS admin. Okay, and you have to put certain things in single quotes, and again, you'll see as it goes along. At local host. Now, in the instructions, it says enter your password. You can create any password you want. This is just a temporary password. So the password that I'm creating for this, and like I said, I don't recommend you using my passwords. I would recommend that you create your own secure passwords of some type. Identified by there. Because I forgot the one thing, semicolon at the end. Okay. Create user. Identified by. Ah, I forgot some stuff at the end. God, I love this. Okay, no. No, I did that right. Localhost, create user. Identified by password. Okay, so have no idea what I did wrong. Copied the stuff from the documentation I found online. because the one I found online, it does 1.34 and this is 1.37, so there's definitely some differences to it, but it worked before. The only thing I'm thinking is it did not like the username, because that's the only thing it changed. Either that or somehow I used like the wrong characters here, which I don't think I did. Have no idea why. So let's continue. Just the crazy stuff you run into. So then you want to do the grant, where you're granting the options. All right. So you want to do grant all on MediaWiki, and I have to edit this here. You know what? I think I did use the wrong. Nope, that's not it. I got a feeling that's going to error out if I don't change these. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so, oh, that's not the stupid password. Oh my God. Let's try it this way. And I have to change that because that user doesn't exist. Okay, I think I got everything. Okay. But now that that's corrected, again, all right, so the next part that you want to do is you want to flush the privileges and then you want to exit. So you would type in flush privileges, semicolon. Okay, and then exit, which I think I already did. Yes. Okay, so there you go. So now if you did everything correctly and didn't do all the screw ups that I did, you now have created the database, created the user for the database for your MediaWiki. So now here comes the fun part. The fun part is we get to now create or download to install the MediaWiki. So you would go to cd/temp nn wget https releases.mediawiki.org MediaWiki 1.37 MediaWiki core 1.37.1 tar.gz, which is the zip file for it. So we go ahead and press enter. Hey, look at that. It worked right off the bat. Woo! All right. So now what you want to do is you want to create the directory that you're going to install MediaWiki in. Okay, so you're going to make a directory, var www html MediaWiki. Done. Now, what you want to do is you want to expand that. It's basically a zip file, but they call it a tar file or something like that. So you want to untar it. So you would do tar-zxvf MediaWiki asterisk, because it's a wildcard, and that way it'll just find that one file with the extensions. And it's expanding out of the zip file. Done. Now what you want to do is you want to move it from where it's currently at in that temp directory to the directory you just created, which is going to be in var www html MediaWiki. And it's done. Now you want to change the ownership of that directory by doing wanted to fix that so it doesn't error out on me. You want to do chown dash uppercase R www.data www.data to var www html MediaWiki nn. Let me take out sudo chmod because you're changing the user permissions on it. Uppercase R 755 var www html MediaWiki. And it worked. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to configure Apache 2 for the MediaWiki. So what you would do is you would do vim vim/etc/apache2/sites-available/mediawiki.conf. And when you do that, there's nothing there. So what you want to do is you want to copy all this stuff. And I'll probably have to straighten it out because this is in a Word doc and we all know how Microsoft and everybody likes to play together. It's almost the way it should be. You know, it'll probably work even though it's not neat. I need to see if I might have missed a yep, I did. All right. Fix this. I hate when I screw up. All right. So that should pretty much do it, except for I have to add. Actually, I need to move that there and then. Whoop. All right. So as you can see, you need to have this all set up here. And I think, yeah, I really screwed that up too. You know what? I'm going to recopy it from this page. Just, I don't even know if I can, maybe I can. Let me see. There we go. All right. So this is everything that you need to have set up, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like indented this way, but to me, it's just neater to read the code that way. I mean, I took programming classes in the past, and that's why I do things the way I do. Because of that. Yeah, I didn't go down far enough. All right, so now to save it again, just like we did before, you want to do : WQ exclamation point. Okay, and now I just created that file. All right, so now you need to enable the newly configured, says enable and configure the MediaWiki, which it's all this stuff. A2 DIS site 000-default.conf. And then you want to do this next one. You want to do A2 en site MediaWiki.conf. And the last is A2 en mod rewrite. And then you want to do systemctl restart Apache 2. Okay. All right. And that is pretty much how you install it. Now the next thing is to actually set up the MediaWiki. So what you want to do is you want to open a web browser. And what you want to do is you can try localhost and see what happens. And that didn't work. So what you want to do now is you want to figure out your IP address. So let's do 192.168. 192.168.10.9. And there you go. And as you can see, it says MediaWiki 1.37.1. So now, this is what you'll get when you type in the IP address. I mean, it said, you know, well, it says host name or IP address. I don't remember what the host name is. So, but if you remember that, you can use that or you can use the IP. So you want to click on set up the WIC first. So when you click on that, it's going to change this to here. So you would need to set your language, whatever it is. Obviously, mine's going to be English. You click on continue. It's going to do environmental checks to make sure that it has everything. It says found GD graphics library built in, all kinds of stuff. It says warning, cannot find APCU or Win cache. I have no idea what that is. But it says the environment has been checked. You can install MediaWiki. So you would click on continue. Okay. So here is where the fun begins. So once you check all this stuff and everything, now you want to leave the database host localhost, but here's where you want to change everything. You want to give it a name. So I'm going to give it a name of GHS WIC. And this here, you can make it anything you want. You don't have to, but I read somewhere that you should. So I'm going to put and you can't have a hyphen, but you can use an underscore. So I'm going to put 8643 underscore. You can make it any four, and you can make it as many numbers as you want. It's totally up to you. Now for the database username, that's where the secondary user that we created. You don't want to use root for that because that's a totally different account. So mine is GHS MW admin, I want to say, because like I said, I don't think it liked the other one I was trying to do. And then the password that we created for it. So that's R2D2 C3P0. And you want to click continue. Excuse me. Definitely don't want your browser to save it, because that defeats the whole purpose of security, in my opinion. All right, so use the same account for installation. Click continue. Now, oh crap. Yeah, I gotta go back. I did the wrong thing. You need to give it the name that you created, so it was MediaWiki is the database name. Sorry about that. Continue. Continue. Okay. Now here's where you can give it its own name. So I'm going to call this GHS_WIC. Or actually space, which it adds a hyphen because of the spaces. Now, the administrator account is a totally separate account, separate from the database account. So we're going to call this... Okay, yeah. So that was right. Okay. All right. So just want to make sure I had everything right. All right. So now, believe me, a lot of this is going to be edited out. Some things will be edited out. I'm just trying to edit out a lot of the dead time. So this is a different thing. This is for creating accounts and anything you want to do. Now, you could set this up however you want. This is the way I set it up because it's a private documentation server. So we're going to make this GH, because it capitalizes the first letter for some reason. GHS admin. Could help if I could spell. And I'm going to make this okay, and email address, you can and it's up to you if you want to subscribe to this or not. Now, you could just click on that, go right straight into the MediaWiki. To me, there's a few other configuration things that I have to do. And yeah, I would rather, you know, make sure that I get everything set up. So again, not saving this, although I think I did hit save. Now, you can make it an open WIC where, you know, because it says right here at the bottom, WIC works best when you let as many people possible edit in the MediaWiki. However, many have found MediaWiki to be useful in a wide variety of roles. Sometimes it's not easy to convince everyone of the benefits of the WIC way, so you have a choice. Now, an open WIC allows anyone to edit it even without logging in. So if that's the way you want, you can leave it there. You can do account creation required, authorized editors only. If it's going to be, and which is what I use it for, because like I said, I've seen Tom at Lawrence Systems show it. You could set it up as a private MediaWiki this way. If you put anything in there like system related, password related, it's going to keep people from being able to see it unless like they really hack your shit. You know, then you would want to make sure that you have encryption set up on the drive so that that doesn't happen. Although, in my opinion, if it's up and running, I don't know how that works when it's running. I'd have to look into that. But anyways, so what you can do, what I'm going to do for this demo is I'm going to set it for private MediaWiki, which basically means private, you know, a private MediaWiki only allows approved users to view pages with the same group allowed to edit it. So like in the case of me, it's just me and my wife. She can open it up. She can edit things. I doubt if she will, but she's going to be able to have the ability to edit, to create pages, and all that good stuff. So now, you know, you can have it where it says show Creative Commons attribution. I think I pronounced that correctly. Yeah, all this stuff here. I'm not doing that because I don't care. It's just me. So return email address, you know, I'm just leaving it there because, again, there's, you know, enable users to send email. I'm not going to worry about that a whole lot. And enable file uploads. Logo URL. Okay. And setting, you know, no caching, no functionality is removed, or if you want to use mem cached, that's up to you. I don't use that, so we'll hit continue. By pressing continue, you'll begin the MediaWiki. And if there's any screw ups, it'll definitely let you know. I've had that happen anytime today. Hey, there we go. Okay, set up everything. It's completed, thank God. There you go. So now you want to save this file because it's a copy of the current config, and you'll need it here in a few. So let's go ahead and save the file. Now I'm going to try it in the way this. I seriously doubt if it's going to work. Yeah, no, I'm going to do it a different way. I just realized that, yeah, no, that's not going to work. All right. So we're going to change directory to home / VHS admin downloads. Really? Ah, I didn't put a dash. There we go. All right. So what we want to do is we want to mv move local settings.php to var www html MediaWiki. Hey, it worked. The other, it had SCP. I mean, I'll include it in the documentation, but I doubt if it's going to work. All right, so we need to change to that directory. And we want to do this command here. Okay. And that worked. Okay, now we need to do a default skin because there is no skin. And if you go to it, it would look really fugly. So you want to run this one first. Because this should download it, hopefully. And we need to... Hang on a sec. Did I put that in mine? No, I didn't. Okay. So Let me get the exact name of the, I think we got it, hopefully. Let me just try the last part of this. Okay, so this is the skin for the 137. Hopefully this will work. Hey, it worked. Okay. So now, same thing as before. We want to tar dash zxvf the vector gz and then rm and you want to then remove it once it's done. Okay, so now it created the directory, put the skin in there. So now this is where you got to go into the local settings, which hopefully this command will work. We'll see. I make no guarantees because it's just the way my luck is. So now you want to echo this here, and it should put the command in to load that in the local settings. Let's hope. Just like I figured. All right. So let's nano. This is why I like nano, because it color codes everything, and it's towards the bottom. Now it says default skin vector. So let's go ahead and paste that in. We shall remove the echo. That, because I don't think it needs the quotes. That. Delete all that good happy horse crap. And then O for output. That, it'll save it, and then Control O and then Control X. You could probably do Control X and it'll ask you if you want to save it. Yes. Okay, so now that that's done, we should be able to enter our WIC, and it'll look something kind of like what's on the screen. And there you go. So that there is how you install it. Now we're going to log in as the admin, and it saved it. Not what I wanted it to do, but okay. So here's the main page and everything. Now you want to add a user. So you want to go to special pages, create account, and then here's where you're going to give it a name. So I'm just going to call this one Gary GHS. Set a password. Then you want to confirm that password. And email address is optional, real name. And then you want to create account, Don't save. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to change the rights. So you want to go back to the special pages and user rights. User list. Okay. Now, depending on how you want to do this, I want to say to create a page, you have to be a bureaucrat, but let's find out. So we're going to log out of the actual admin account. Click on login. And we want to do Gary GHS, and then its password. And we never want to save that. So, okay. So there it is. We'll go back to the main page. And now, as you notice, there's no create page here. So what you want to do is actually, if you want to search, we'll do test page. And it won't find it, so you can, to create the page, you can click on test page, and then here's where you can type in like any kind of text, HTML coding, stuff like that. We'll just go ahead and let me put something a little more useful. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that page. And it created the page. Now, you can also modify this side page here, which I think we might be able to get to it through here. And I'm going to open that in a separate tab, if I can find it. Let me try typing in side page. Nope, that's not it. Ah, sidebar. That's what it is. Sorry about that. Let's try that. Yep, still doesn't do it. Okay, so let's do this then. All I have to do is just copy this part of it because this all stays the same. So let's open another tab. 192.168.10.9 slash paste. Oh, I think I know where I made the mistake. Let me take out that MediaWiki. There we go. Okay. Now, to make any changes on this, what you want to do is you want to like edit the navigation, but there's one problem. I can't do it, I don't think, on this because see, I can only view it. So this is where I think you have to be a bureaucrat to do that. So let's log back in as the actual admin. And I'm afraid this is going to be a lengthy video too. You know what? Yeah, I think this is where I'm going to stop right now because this is going to be a lengthy video. The next video, I'm going to show you how to add the visual editor. And also, I'm going to show you how to edit this over here so that you can add things to it so that, you know, as we create a page or we create pages, instead of it, you know, where you have to search, if you edit the sidebar page, you can actually add it to where all you have to do is just scroll down and click on the links that'll be there, and it'll take you to those pages. And this way, and I'll also show you how to set the logo for that there. But at least you got your Wik up and running. You can create pages by searching for their names, because even I think you still have to be logged in. But if we type in test page, yeah, you have to log in to view it, but it will show up. But yeah, so next video, I'm going to show you how to install the visual editor. I'm going to show you how to install or to edit the sidebar, as I stated before, and also change the logo. Okay, and as you can see, it's up and running. There's some things I'd really like to tweak on it, just because of the fact is I'd like to put maybe some like common topics so I don't have to scroll down as much, maybe a few pictures and other things. I know I can add a picture, and I have done it to the one I use at work. It's just a generic picture just to put something there so it's not like, you know, a giant white screen. But it's going to take time because the documentation to try to find how to customize your Wik is really not that good. I haven't found anything decent to even explain it to me. But, you know, that's the way sometimes it goes. So, as I always like to say, have a good day, guys, and take care.